I'm here with Steve Feinartz, director of Are We Good? Documentary, I guess broadly about Marc Maron, but it's kind of like a biography, serve as context to how he's developed now to where he's at now, along with him dealing with grief of Lynn Shelton.
Yep.
How much of so documentaries are always weird because usually when you start, you don't know fully what you get into. How early did this documentary start, and how much of this has already transpired when you started, and how much of it changed as you were making the documentary?
Yeah, we had a general sense of where we were going to go with it after Lynn had passed. Julie Seba, our producer and story editor, reached out to me about the idea, and we met with him and talked about it. And it was the intention was to make a film about dealing with the grief and building an hour of comedy around that and what that looked like. But it turned into, as most, like you mentioned, documentaries, how most of them are, especially follow docs, like Vérité docs like this. And you find different threads and you pull on them and see what else is there. And we found a lot of different things just surrounding his career and his father and the meaning of Lynn in his life and grappling with the loss in a way that none of us really thought it was gonna go. So it was a 3.5 year endeavor to make this to shoot this thing. But it was I think it's the only way to have done it. I think having to do it in a year or so, I don't think we would have gotten what we needed. You know.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about Julie Seabaugh a little bit because she's credited as story editor, writer on this, and I always get confused when I see a writing credit on a documentary. I was like, don't you just shoot people talking and then put it together? But apparently, writers of documentaries do something quite different. What can you describe what Julie did on this?
Julie's wonderful. She's a great writer herself. She's an author and a filmmaker. She really, when we started with the structure of what this film was going to be from the get go, she had a plan for it. A lot of things shifted over time, but it sort of set us on the path to what the film would be. So yeah, going through figuring out what the act structure would be and going there. But a lot of it happens, as I said, through filming and you find new things and then you adapt. But that was very, very helpful to the direction of the film. And then also she did the work of going through a lot of these Instagram lives and podcast intros and finding some gems and noting those and we used a lot of that. So it's a lot of work. I mean, Marc's got a lot of it's a lot of footage out there, Mark, of audio and video and just across the board. So having Julie and having a team of incredible editors on this film as well, Derek Boonstra and Natalie Ancona and Jen Harper and Pete Sajarto, our AE. I mean, just everybody did such a great job. It was a team effort all along.
Yeah, that's gotta be pretty daunting work. It's like, hey, here's a beach, find three specific grains of sand. Okay, let's see what we can do.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. Luckily, a lot of the stuff is now cataloged online. You can seek out transcripts from a lot of the podcasts and all that, thankfully. But there was, yeah, I think when we first started, it was a lot less of that available.
Yeah. And also, so in the documentary, in a lot of the times, Mark Maron's turning to the camera, just kind of like a sort of like, oh, we're going to shoot this now. Oh, you got to like he's talking crap that I assume you or whoever's behind the camera at the time. What was it like working with them on this? Like, I'm guessing he's being playful there, or was there any sort of butting heads or maybe some regret on his end? Like, oh, why did I let anyone do this?
I mean, I think at the beginning there was a little bit of fear of what is the point of this thing and like why are we doing this? And he was a little annoyed, I guess, me going to the comedy store all the time and like he likes to just go there and do his thing and having a camera around. We filmed like 12 or 13 days there with him. It's a lot. He was getting tired of it, but I get it. I don't think I'd want that either. And then towards the last year of filming, it was like, when is this thing gonna end? What's the end here? And we finally got it. But it could have been a year shorter if we had found that right ending. But it just happened the way it happened.
Wait, I mean,
The timing was actually ended up working out, I think, because the end of the podcast is happening now. So I think the timing of the film coming out actually is pretty good all around.
what was that moment finding the end to this? Because like, unless like Mark Maron like happened to pass away, I mean that's pretty definitive. But for someone that's still going and still successful and still dealing with things, like how do you sit there and look at it and go, oh yeah, this is it. This is where we're gonna cut it off.
He was just feeling very contemplative and reflective on this final scene. I don't want to give much away, but there's a scene, and we were just walking with him, and just a lot of things were coming out, and it felt like a look back and a way to bring everything that we filmed and everything into a big picture and distill it down. So it just happens. I mean, with him, it's like with anybody else, you never know what you're going to get out of them on a certain day. But that day was lucky, and we got something really special. It's a lot of the one thing I say about filmmaking, doc filmmaking specifically, is just shoot, and then just shoot more, because you're always going to want something else in the edit. Like is especially these Vérité documentaries are just, it's a lot of work, and you're just going through, like, mostly just Mark looking at his phone or dealing with, or feeding his cats or whatever. It's all this footage, but within that there's hopefully gems, but you just gotta keep going, just as much as you can, as much as they can stomach the subject. You just gotta
What
keep them.
what were some what were some of the discoveries you made during the documentary? Like something you shot and it's like, ooh, didn't know we'd come across that. And then maybe what were some stuff that you shot where it's like, it's a little too personal or cuts a little too deep. We gotta cut that out. Or
Cuts too deep. There was stuff, but it was we filmed, but just didn't feel like it was necessary to tell the story, because we already understood what was happening without getting into too much detail. But yeah, the things that him going through Lynn's suitcase and reflecting on her a bit there was a pretty powerful scene that I didn't think we were gonna get. And then learning about things through the suitcase, and just it all connected. Yeah, I think those glimpses of Mark's inner dialogue about whether he's going to find somebody again, or whether he even wants to, that kind of thing.
yeah. Well, Are We Good is going to be in theaters in New York, LA, October 3rd, and nationwide theatrical events on October 5th and 8th. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I guess we'll end on this. I just want to get a movie recommendation from you, either a movie that's real personal to you or something that's like, this movie's really good and no one talks about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got a documentary that I've been thinking about a lot lately that I love. It's called Some Kind of Heaven by Lance Oppenheimer. It's a doc about the villages in Florida, the retirement facility, and it's really great. It's a phenomenal documentary.
What was it about that one that got your juices flowing?
I love, first of all, I love how it's shot. It's so cinematic and cool, and he just shines light on these really odd characters, and it just, these little glimpses into the lives of people that are like in their 70s and 80s, and I have a lot of stories. But it's, yeah, that one just, yeah, it really cuts deep. It's a beautiful little film. He did this show called Rent Fair on HBO as well, doc series. Very talented guy.
Nice. Well, I haven't heard of that, so that's a wonderful pick. I always love those ones when someone brings up something like, nope, never heard of that. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
check
we're
it
gonna
out.
put that on the
Some Kind
list.
of Heaven. It's really great.
All right. Well, Steve, congratulations on the doc. It's really insightful, and which is strange for Marc Maron, because I mean, with his podcast, it's like, what don't we know about him already? And then he shed light on some stuff, and it was very interesting. And congratulations on it.
Thanks so much, Eric. I appreciate it, man.